Welcome to Animal DNA, our extraordinary expedition through the animal kingdom. We'll explore the unique traits and characteristics of animals of all kinds, how species relate to one another, and ways in which they survive and thrive in their diverse environments around the planet. And so our journey begins. Today, we'll talk about camels, llamas, alpacas, reindeer, and elk. Animals that seem similar on the outside, but are notably different on the inside. We begin with the camelids, which are members of the Camelidae family. Animals in this group include dromedaries, camels, llamas, and alpacas. Let's start with camels. The most common species is the dromedary, which is also known as the Arabian camel. While the name camel isn't in their official title, they're the species most people think of when they picture a camel traveling across the desert. Other camel species include the Bactrian camel or Mongolian camel, and the critically endangered wild Bactrian camel. Wild Bactrian camels are the only species of the three that have never been domesticated. Dromedaries originated in the Arabian Peninsula and spread throughout North Africa, East Asia, and Australia, with the largest population residing in Africa. Bactrian and wild Bactrian camels originated in Central Asia. Their habitat consists of the desert and steppe areas of the Asian highlands between Mongolia and China, which is where the Gobi Desert lies. The most notable feature on these animals are their humps. Dromedaries have only one hump, while the Bactrian camels have two. Another major difference between dromedaries and Bactrian camels is their coat. Dromedaries have short, uniform hair all over their body, which makes them well suited to hot desert climates. Bactrian camels have longer coats that change throughout the year. This thicker hair protects the two Central Asian camelid species from the freezing temperatures of the Asian highlands. When spring arrives, the animals shed their long hair, which is replaced by shorter hair to help them withstand the extreme summer heat, which can reach 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Dromedaries are the largest of the three species. They can exceed 6.5 feet tall, while Bactrian camels are typically shorter, measuring in around 6 feet tall. Bactrian camels are stockier and sturdier, generally weighing between 1,300 and 2,200 pounds. Dromedaries, though they can be taller, are lighter, usually weighing in around 900 to 1,300 pounds. This lighter weight means they can reach faster speeds. Bactrian camels are more docile than dromedaries, but due to their double hump, they are less suitable as a means of transportation. Both dromedaries and Bactrian camels have been domesticated, while the wild Bactrian camels remain just that, wild, and can react aggressively when disturbed. A common misconception is that camels and dromedaries store water in their humps. Humps aren't water reservoirs, but rather energy reservoirs. They consist of large amounts of fatty tissue that help camels survive in deserts and steppes with hardly any vegetation for feeding. The fatty protrusions also protect them against heat loss and the cold of the desert. Thanks to their humps, both camels and dromedaries can survive without drinking water for more than 5 days. They can survive up to 40% dehydrated. Dehydration causes their flexible humps to shrink and fall to one side. When they find water, they can quickly rehydrate, drinking around 37 gallons in 15 minutes. Dromedaries and Bactrian camels are herbivores, meaning they eat plants and vegetation for sustenance. While dromedaries and Bactrian camels have been domesticated, which has helped protect their population numbers, the wild Bactrian camel is critically endangered. It is estimated that there are fewer than 1,000 wild Bactrian camels left in the world. Other members of the Camelidae family include the Vicuña genus, which includes both vicuña and alpacas, and the llama genus, which is made up of the guanaco and the llama. All members of the Camelidae family have a few characteristics in common: long, slender necks and legs, vestigial central incisors in the upper jaw, and true canine teeth. Stomachs made up of 3 chambers. An upper lip divided into 2 parts, which can each move separately from the other. 2 toes with toenails on each foot. Limbs on the same side of the body that move simultaneously. We'll be right back with more animal DNA. Welcome back to Animal DNA. Let's see if you can answer this trivia question. Which of these Andean South American countries doesn't have a native camelid species? A. Chile. B. Peru. C. Venezuela. D. Bolivia. If you said C. Venezuela, you're right. Camelids native to South America inhabit Peru, Chile, Bolivia, Ecuador, and Argentina, but not the Venezuelan Andes. They include the vicuña, the alpaca, the guanaco, and the llama. Let's get to know these South American camelids. Vicuñas are members of the llama genus and are the smallest of the camelids. They have small heads, large eyes, and pointed ears, all of which is supported by an elongated neck. Their long legs end in soft foot pads, not hooves. They measure around 3 feet high at the shoulder, with the head and neck adding another 2 feet. They weigh an average of 110 pounds. Their tails are short, measuring between 6 and 10 inches long. Like other camelids, they have large eyes framed with thick eyelashes. Their bodies are covered in a soft reddish-brown coat that lightens to beige on the sides and white on the chest and neck areas. Alpacas are the most numerous South American camelid species. They look similar to llamas and guanacos in external appearance. Adult llamas measure around 3 feet tall and weigh between 105 and 185 pounds. Their bodies are slender and they have a long, narrow neck that is best seen when not covered with wool. Their wool can grow out to 20 inches and can have a variety of white, brown, and black colorations. Guanacos are very similar to llamas, only smaller. These elegant-looking animals have a slender body, no hump, long legs, and a long neck. Their heads are small, but possess 2 large, pointed ears. Their eyes are also large and framed with long, thick lashes that protect them from dust. Like all members of the camelid family, they have a split upper lip. Adults stand 3 to 4 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh about 200 pounds. The largest guanacos can reach up to 8 feet tall when you include the head and neck, and reach over 300 pounds in weight. Their coats are light brown to reddish brown on the upper body, white on the underside, and gray or black on most of the face. Llamas are another South American camelid and a descendant of guanacos. They have long, slender necks and thick coats ranging from dark beige to white, although most often they are reddish-brown with white or yellow spots. Their faces are narrow, and they have round ears and a cleft upper lip. Like other camelids, their legs end in 2 toes with thick pads on the soles. They are native to the highlands of the Andes and the Peruvian Altiplano. They thrive in temperate climates at altitudes about 13,000 feet above sea level. Adults range in height from 5.5 to 6 feet tall and generally weigh around 250 to 450 pounds. They live in herds of around 20 animals, 30% of which are usually females and their young. If threatened, llamas can spit, kick, or bite. They are herbivores, and their diet consists of almost any type of vegetation. Much of their hydration comes from their constant grazing. Though when they come across water, they are capable of swallowing more than half a gallon at a time. Llamas take a long time to digest their food. They regurgitate their food, and it must pass through all 3 stomach chambers. We'll be right back with more animal DNA. Welcome back to Animal DNA. Let's see if you can answer this trivia question. Which of these statements about camels is false? A. They can eat thorny branches without harming themselves. B. They can close their nostrils to prevent sand from entering. C. In short bursts, they can reach speeds up to 25 miles per hour. D. They have a life expectancy of about 10 years. If you answer D, you are right. Camels can live far beyond 10 years. In fact, their average life expectancy is typically 40 to 50 years. Now let's explore the Cervidae family, or the deer family, including mammals such as deer, moose, reindeer, elk, and many others. In fact, there's a total of 20 genera and 48 species in the Cervidae family. When these animals are young, their shape bears a distant resemblance to camelids, and maybe even to giraffes, because of the spots on their fur. But they are not related. Cervids are a species all their own. Deer are ruminant mammals, meaning they are hoofed mammals that possess 4 stomachs for digestion. That's 1 more than our friends in the camelids group. Deer have long, slender legs that end in a split hoof. They typically measure about 2 to 4 feet tall at the shoulder. The average summer weight for adult males is 150 pounds and 100 pounds for females. Among the most well-known deer species are the white-tailed deer, the red deer, and the mule deer. All deer grow antlers, which are made of dead bone that they shed and regrow every year. Generally, only males develop antlers, and they appear once they are a year old or more. While it is very rare, some females can also grow them. Deer antlers are covered in a velvet-like texture, which is highly nutritious. This explains why rodents and even larger animals love to gnaw on shed antlers. Deer can live in many types of habitats, such as the Arctic tundra, equatorial rainforests, deciduous forests, grasslands, wetlands, tropical forests, arid shrublands, boreal and alpine regions, as well as urban and suburban environments, where they coexist with people and may even appear in backyards and gardens. Deer are herbivorous animals, feeding primarily on small shrubs, leaves, grasses, and trees. They have 4 small, unspecialized stomachs where bacterial fermentation takes place, which helps them acquire nutrients. Most deer mate with multiple partners. The breeding season begins in late fall or early winter in more temperate areas. Lower latitudes, closer to the equator, it begins in late spring and early summer. The gestation period for deer varies from 180 to 240 days depending on the species. 1 to 2 fawns may be born at a time. They are cared for by their mother, with whom they remain for about a year. The life expectancy for deer is rather short, relatively speaking, only 11 to 12 years. Though many deer die before they are 5 years old due to predators or human hunting. And there are many predators, including the lynx, coyote, gray wolf, grizzly bear, mountain lion, jaguar, tiger, ocelot, and some reptiles as well. Though it is humans who, through hunting, have caused deer populations to decrease worldwide. Moose, or European elk, as they're referred to in Europe and Asia, are the largest members of the deer family. Moose live in forested regions of northern Europe, Asia, and North America, residing mainly in Poland, Russia, Siberia, Austria, Alaska, Canada, and the northern United States. When the winter ice melts, they can be found near lakes, rivers, or swampy areas, where they feed on aquatic plants. Moose can reach shoulder heights between 4.5 and 7 feet tall and weigh over 1,500 pounds. Males have large palmate antlers, meaning they're shaped like an open hand. They hold the title of the largest antlers in the animal world. Their massive antler racks can weigh more than 40 pounds. As with deer antlers, they are shed every year and regrown. Moose are excellent swimmers and can actually dive underwater for up to 30 seconds. On land, they are very agile and can run up to 35 miles per hour over short distances. Their dark fur coat is very thick and reaches about 10 inches long. They don't have a great sense of sight, so they are not active at night. They do, on the other hand, have excellent hearing and smell, which gives them a good sense of direction. Moose are solitary animals, but can gather in small groups. Mothers stay with their young until they can fend for themselves. Except for short migrations, moose generally remain in the same territory. Their herbivorous diet is based on tree bark, branches, roots, and plants, such as willow and poplar trees. They spend most of their time feeding and can consume mass quantities, up to 66 pounds of food in a single day. The full stomach of a moose can weigh up to 143 pounds alone. During breeding season, males fight each other with their strong antlers to determine who will have the right to mate. Gestation periods generally last 8 months. A birth typically yields 2 offspring that already weigh about 30 pounds when born. On the day of their birth, calves can stand, and a few days after birth, they can usually run. Survival depends on their ability to grow quickly. Moose can live up to 22 years in the wild, but, like deer, they are hunted by humans. In countries like Russia and Finland, their meat is highly prized. Other human-caused issues for moose populations include deforestation and the proliferation of road construction that crosses through their natural habitat. And with that, our journey has come to an end. See you next time on Animal DNA, where we humans decode all the secrets of our friends in the animal kingdom to learn more about them and a little bit more about ourselves, too.